Hello everyone. This is just a quick little video update progress thing to put it out there that I have recently started Kagurabachi, the Shonen Jump manga that's taking the world by storm in the past couple of years. That sort of started as a bit of a meme before anything came out, and then it came out, and then people went, holy shit, this is actually really damn substantial. I love this, and now has one of the most passionate, fervent fan bases I've seen in a while. I have heard about this series from word of mouth over the last 12 to 18 months, especially as it's gotten more and more along. I think there are around 80-something chapters, so it's still relatively young, but there's been enough time that the story's found its feet and it's sort of begun to dig into some payoff, I assume. And, I heard about it and I retained a bit of an interest in it, but only in the last month or two did I start really paying attention to it, which led to me saying, you know what? Let's do a premiere stream. Let's check out the first bunch of chapters for this. So I streamed at this point I've streamed 3 streams of Kagurabachi. I've read the first 26 chapters, I believe. Something like that. And I finished the first arc and a decent chunk of the introduction of the second arc. And I'm just putting this out there just to say that it's great. I really, really like it. I think there's a ton of substance and symbolism there. I think the character dynamics are really, really interesting. I think it plays on the idea of legacy in a way that's very, very profound and emotional, both in a cerebral way, speaking of ideas like death of the author, interpretation, what is fair interpretation when someone leaves behind a legacy that is meant to, that isn't clear, which, coincides with the idea of narratives and books and stories and art in general. Versus, what if you knew that person, and you knew the type of person they were, and you knew what they would stand for, but what they put out into the world is misrepresentative? That sort of idea. I don't want to get into spoilers, because this isn't meant to be that sort of video, this isn't an analysis, but man, if you've read the story, you know what I'm talking about, especially with regards to the first arc. Yeah, the art is fantastic. I think the presentation's really, really good and effective. I think it's a little rough, in a couple of areas. Maybe with the paneling, it's a little rough. It may be a little messy as the writer and artist finds their feet. Hokazono, as they find their feet. But nonetheless, you can see what they're cooking. You can see that even if the work in the first few chapters maybe and the art is a little unpolished, you can see the genius there. There's an unpolished gem right there in the beginning, in terms of the writer, in terms of how everything's presented, that then has already, only 26 chapters or so that I've read, and it's already been polished. The presentation's already been leveled up. The art is already better. The spreads that this series has given me already are incredible. Some of the imagery, and how that coalesces with the symbolism. It's fantastic. So yeah, is this technically the best illustrated manga you're ever going to see in the first couple of chapters? No, but you can absolutely see a great use of the medium, a really interesting, innovative, bold use of the medium in ways that tell the story directly and indirectly, and show a lot of substance for the characters and really foreshadow and sort of pave the way for you to understand where some of these characters are going, particularly Chihiro, Sojo, and a couple other things. All that is so on point, it's so well done, and so I was in heaven doing these streams, and realizing what I can sink my teeth into, and realizing that if I really dive deep into these things, I'll be rewarded. Will I be right all the time? No, I make mistakes all the time, but the thought food is there. It encourages you to do this. And, I've seen a lot of people that say that Kagurabachi is very rough from the beginning. It's a slow start. Stick with it after the first 8 to 10 chapters. And those people, to me, are undervaluing the series. I think it's very interesting, very substantial, with lots of great ideas from the beginning. Does it get better from there? For sure. And it gives me one of the best first arcs in a shonen I've seen, specifically with those last couple of chapters. Oh my god. So yeah, it improves, but it's good from the start, man. It's really good. I'd recommend, I think a couple of the VODs are probably gone by now, or maybe the first one's gone by now, or about to be gone, but The VODs where I watch where I stream my read through of Kagurabachi are on Patreon. They'll be there for forever, so you can check those out if you want. And it's just a 3-4 hour stream, all three of them, of me just really seeing what the writer is putting out there, and seeing character journeys before they happen because of how well, not because I'm really smart, but because the writer puts it out there so brilliantly. So yeah, I just wanted to, like I said, the art, the storytelling, the dynamics. I really love characters like Char, and there's something that got introduced really, really recently with two characters, Hakari and Soya, and Hakari's family, and Soya's seemingly really toxic attachment to him, and their father, Kyora. Man, the dynamics here all over the place are so interesting, and it's such a great progression of the story, and I can't wait to see more. For anyone who's interested, I stream this every One Piece break, so every 2 to 3 weeks. Whenever there's a One Piece break, I stream Kagurabachi on Sundays, and I continue my read-through through it. So if you're interested, feel free to join in with it. And I gotta say, thank you so much to everyone who has been part of the journey so far. The fandom is incredibly enthusiastic and passionate, sometimes to the point where, we don't want to be spoiling stuff, of course. But I get it. People are excited. People are excited for people to take this story seriously. We have fun, we clown on stuff, we meme around. It's a fun series for that. But when it comes down to it, there is a deep substance there, a profundity there to Kagurabachi that I've experienced in the first few streams of it, and the first bunch of chapters of it, and people just love others sinking their teeth into that, and people love seeing people have their own journey with that, and it's very wholesome and very sweet. So yeah, thank you everyone for joining in, and long may it continue. Even once I catch up, I'm happy to keep doing Kagurabachi Sundays for the 2 or 3 chapters that stack up while One Piece is going on, But yeah, just thought I'd put this out there as an update or a bit of a news flash for anyone who wasn't aware. Kagurabachi's great. If you want to join in the journey, follow me on Twitch. We're doing it, like I said, every Sunday where there's a One Piece break, we're doing it. So the day I'm recording this, next week, a week today, we'll be doing a Kagurabachi stream. So lots of fun stuff ahead, and thank you for watching. Thank you for watching.